Welcome to Science Fiction Saturday number 3 for April 4th, 2020. Today we're going to talk about two stories. We're going to talk about the Taxpayer and we're going to talk about the Third Expedition, again, both from the book we're currently working through, Ray Bradbury's Martian Chronicles, in this lovely leather-bound copy. So buckle up. This time we have two stories. Number one is from March 2031 called The Taxpayer, and it's about he wanted to go to Mars on the rocket. So this is about a taxpayer, someone who's not trained in any fashion to be on the rocket to go to Mars in any way, but he wants to go because basically he's like, why do I have to stay on this planet while you guys get to go off? And the short story is, he couldn't. He doesn't get to go. They cart him off. They throw him in jail. And just as he's like getting driven away, he sees the rocket blast off, basically with his hopes to get off this planet that's, in the midst of dying. And that's the third expedition that's blasting off. And so then we actually get to flip to the third expedition, which is interesting. It's got some metaphysical tones to it, for sure. Right, they get there and they say, hey, we landed on the other side of the planet, away from everything, so that because the first and second expedition, which landed reasonably close to each other, have both disappeared without a trace. So the captain and one person actually head off the ship, but they send a message saying, hey, we'll report tomorrow. They head off the ship and they go down in it because they're interested, because what they see is like an idyllic town of exactly, somewhere in Ohio. I can't remember exactly where in Ohio it is, but it actually has a name. Sorry, not even this was Iowa's mentioned in here. I think Ohio's mentioned in here, and a few other places in the U.S. Are mentioned in here. And what's actually happened is that they see, in the same metaphysical overtones, because they see like their grandparents that have died, their brothers, family members that have passed on, that they miss, that they love, that they would trust, and they see these people in like their childhood homes, and their bedrooms are the same and stuff like that. And so the crew actually, despite they violate orders, and they actually head out and go into this town to see all these loved ones that they've missed. And the captain's mad, understandably, because they've violated orders. But there's like a whole parade, and the mayor presents them with stuff, and they're so excited to see them. And as the captain goes to bed, he has this epiphany, like, what if... Yeah, so he's like, he even sees his mom and dad, right? He has this epiphany, Captain Black, right at the end, that he's sleeping with his brother, like in their childhood room. Yeah, as he realizes the plan, that if we saw the dead men that we love, the sweethearts, 20 years ago, our aunts and uncles and our grandparents, what was more natural? What was more unsuspecting? What more simple? A man doesn't ask too many questions when his mother is suddenly brought back to life. He's much too happy. And here we all are tonight, in various houses, in various beds, with no weapons to protect us, and the rocket lies in the moonlight empty. And wouldn't it be horrible and terrifying to discover that all of this was a part of some great clever plan by the Martians to divide and conquer us and kill us? He gets up when he leaves, and his brother says, where are you going? His brother, air quotes. What? His voice had gone quite cold. I said, where do you think you're going? For a drink of water, but you're not thirsty. Yes, I am. No, you're not. And he breaks across the room to run. He screams twice, and he never reaches the door. And the band that played the, triumphant, we're so happy to see you thing plays a melancholy tune in the morning. And 16 new graves have been dug. And the entire crew is gone. And the rocket is... Does it say what happens to the rocket? In the last story, the rocket was, dismantled for parts for the psychotic people. It doesn't actually say. But again, the third expedition is now dead. So the first one got shot essentially by a jealous Martian husband. The second one was viewed as insane, and they were killed by a Martian psychologist. And then the Martian psychologist killed himself. I mean, the story of the tax person who couldn't go and watches his dreams fly away. And now we have the third expedition, which goes out with all hope and all well armed, because I think we won't succumb to the things that the second expedition had. And the truth is, they do. And they're all dead now too, with 16 new graves, and the telepathic Martians have tricked them, and they're dead. On that joyful note, for Science Fiction Saturday, number 3 for April 4th. Really melancholy book. Next time we'll dive into a couple more stories for you. If you like the video, you can give me a thumbs up. If you love the video, why don't you subscribe, but don't hit the bell because you have better things to do than to just wait for some notification. Hang out with your kids. Don't go outside. Read a book. Something like that. Have a good day.